Hello everyone, it's D Cubed and Void back with another episode of Let's Troll Showdown. We're going to be sticking with this Muk team for one more episode. You saw how well it performed in the last episode. And for this episode, we're going to be giving you guys 2 battles with this team to close it out.
Yeah, we're just going to sort of play around and experiment and see what teams we can beat with it and what teams we're struggling with it against. So, we have a very interesting team here, a Gudra. Not something you're typically going to see. Gudra's very bulky, but just also has some decent offensive presence. What's Gudra's base speed stat again? I'm forgetting.
Well, we can look that up. We have the handy dandy Showdown team builder here. Alright, so for that team, we didn't see any taunt users or Parasong users.
80, so not too bad. It's really an all-around threat.
So the only problem I see with this team is maybe a Will-O-Wisp from that Rotom, and then maybe a Heatwave burn from the Charizard.
Maybe Hyper Voice might be threatening from the Sylveon as well, but we'll just have to avoid the Charizard and maybe a superpower from the Landorus.
Yeah, once again, we can just go with our standard 4. The Kangaskhan and Terrakion here really are not going to be used very often. That's kind of just for really, really niche situations, like maybe Parasong, or if they have like a ton of taunt users, or a Pokemon that we know is carrying Mental Herb.
Yeah, then we can just use those two and just play somewhat normally. Do you see the Charizard coming out? Whimsicott might be threatened here.
Yeah, so I think this is a turn that we can immediately go for the Memento Trick Room. You didn't get to see that last episode. We kind of had to play with Taunt a little bit and Protect. But our opponent really has no way to KO Audino if we get this Memento off on the Charizard. Gudra really does not have a lot of offensive presence. So I think we can just immediately go for the setup here.
Yeah, there aren't too many support options, and really there's not going to be a lot of counterplay from the opponent. It's going to stop Trick Room.
Alright, so you see how much health Audino still has, even after taking those hits. A single target Heat Wave and a Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, Audino's definitely a great asset, and I think Whimsicott with the Memento is really helpful in ensuring that Audino doesn't get killed in the first turn when it's double targeted. You have to give the opponent credit, though. He knew what was threatening him. He knew that the Audino was definitely the more dangerous of the two.
Alright, so it's good that the Landorus came in before we used the Simple Beam, because that means our attack is only going to go down 1 stage instead of 2. Assuming that it's kind of a scary thing for this Muk, because it's going to bring you down 2 stages, which means you have to power up Punch one more time. Alright, I think we need a Stockpile here to take this Earthquake from the Landorus better. I'm guessing our opponent's going to switch Gudra out for Charizard and just go for the Earthquake, because he needs to start getting damage off.
Yeah, I think we could consider Heal Pulsing with Audino the next turn.
Yeah.
If Muk does indeed take an Earthquake.
Alright, so he does switch into the Flying type like we predicted, and he's probably going to go for the Earthquake here. So even if he does hit this, Heal Pulse is probably going to heal more than Earthquake can do. Yeah, and it's going to.
Yeah.
So good Protect there for Audino.
And we can keep stockpiling, so that Earthquake will be doing less and less. Maybe boost evasion one day some more, so we're not taking as many mistakes.
He goes for the Follow Me, which is gonna. I don't know if he was predicting that Heal Pulse, but that was a good move.
It was indeed, and luckily we avoid the Earthquake. And Follow Me might actually be pretty problematic for trying to redirect a Heal Pulse.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to be Heal Pulsing anymore this game, so let's go for that final Stockpile to make it so that we don't really need the Heal Pulse.
Yeah.
We can Protect Audino here, or we might want to let it go down, because if we Protect here, we're still going to get KO'd the next turn from that Earthquake, because you saw it did 35%. So I think just sacrificing it here and bringing in Sableye to psych up immediately next turn might be more beneficial than leaving Muk and a worthless Audino out on the field together one more turn.
Yeah, maybe.
So let's just Stockpile here, and let's just go for a Heal Pulse just in case. We're not going to be doing anything else. So just in case he predicts that we're not going to Heal Pulse because we saw... Alright, and then we do get the Heal Pulse.
So he did over-predict there, and that was a mistake on his part. He should have just continued to follow me. I don't really think there was a reason not to.
Oh, he hits a Thunder Wave.
Yeah, that Thunder Wave is unfortunate for Muk.
Well, one thing it does do is prevent him from burning us later in the game with that Rotom if he has it in the back, or burning us with a Heat Wave.
Yeah.
So that while it's going to be annoying to deal with the paralysis, it's going to kind of slow our sweeping process down. It's going to prevent us from getting the unlucky burn later on.
Yeah, maybe. And another point to consider is that Muk wasn't really going to outspeed too many of the opponent's Pokemon, so I don't know if Paralysis is really the best choice.
Yeah, we got a Mega Evolve here to bounce back that Thunder Wave, and then we can just psych up and copy all those stats, and he misses the Earthquake on both. He hits an Air Slash. We get to minimize through the Air Slash and Paralysis. That's cool.
Yeah, I guess that's just luck going both ways there. It's really lucky to get through Air Slash, the flinch chance from Air Slash and Paralysis on one turn. But at the same time, with our evasion boosted so much, it was lucky for him to hit us in the first place. So really even for both sides.
All right, now that we have the max evasion and defense here, we can start punching.
Yeah, do we want to consider burning the Landorus maybe?
Yeah, I think we can burn that slot. He might switch out. No, he didn't switch out the Landorus. He just followed me. Alright, he gets a double Earthquake miss again, which when you think about it, it's pretty likely to miss Earthquake. Is it Rocky Helmet? No, that's... Alright, so he might switch out Landorus now because he's seeing that we're going to be attacking on the physical side of the spectrum with that Power Up Punch. And because we have the ability Simple, it's going to be lowering Muk's attacks 2 stages, which is going to prevent us from getting too much traction later. But
yeah, if we could just get a burn onto that Landorus and knock it out.
Yeah, I'll go for the burn, even though this switch may be a little obvious.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's follow me every turn from here on out.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Hits Sableye, but does no damage whatsoever. And we get the burn. That's awesome. So that Landorus is on a timer now. So even if he does switch it around, it's still going to be on the field for only so long because of that burn now. And we got 30 more Power Punches, so I think we're good.
Yeah. We'll definitely be able to outlast this.
Oh wait, we do have one more evasion to psych up if you want to do that. Plus get this attack that this Muk's getting.
That could be useful. We don't want to have intimidated Sableye trying to attack. So those attack boosts are really the most helpful thing Sableye can do right now. And we do get an unfortunate paralysis there. It doesn't really matter in the long run though, because we have such a dominating position right now with these two setup sweepers.
Alright, now we can start going for the attacks. It might have been better to double target the Landorus there now that I think about it. Alright, he hits the Air Slash. We'll see if we even get the attack up at all. Nope.
I like the knockoff on the Citrus Berry there.
Yeah.
It just forces the Togekiss to roost or something sooner than it would have. And now maybe we have a free hand to go for Landorus.
Yeah. If we take out this, I'm surprised our opponent hasn't been switching more because, I mean, he's seeing how we're relying on physical attacks here, and that knockoff already does so much damage.
Yeah, the Power Punch, not going to quite KO Landorus, but the burn will.
Yeah, I don't see an out for our opponent, especially since the Muk is paralyzed. He can't even get a burn with that Charizard anymore.
Yeah. I think the problem with the opponent's team in this situation is he just had too many attackers on his team. And maybe not having access to Fake Out hurt him, because Fake Out just makes things a little trickier for the Whimsicott out of no lead. Alright,
and he hits an Overheat. An Overheat from a Charizard is one of the most powerful attacks in the VGC metagame, but you see it only does 27% there to Sableye. So that's just how crazy we get when we get the boosts up.
Yeah, it only has 90% accuracy, and the opponent basically needs 2 critical hits, I guess, to win. Because critical hits ignore all of the stat boosts. So he's really going to have to get lucky here. And I don't even know if the Charizard can survive long enough to get all of those hits.
Yeah, I went for the recovery here just because better safe than sorry.
Yeah. Togekiss goes down to the burn.
Alright, the Goodra is not really threatening me at all, so let's just double target that Charizard. He hits another one.
Yeah, somewhat impressive.
Alright, yeah, that's gonna be game. There's no way Goodra can clean us up. Alright, so another perfect battle with this team, really, just showing how you sacrifice the Audino and the Whimsicott to set Muk up, and then you get Sableye in, and there's pretty much nothing your opponent can do if you get that all up successfully.
Yeah, it's really a scary. This battle in particular is pretty scary because the opponent has Landorus out and was trying to Earthquake Muck the whole time, and you would think that a Landorus Earthquaking would be something that's pretty threatening to Muck, but really once he gets some of his defensive boosts, he gets some evasion up, and then he has auto heal pulsing alongside him. It just becomes really, really difficult to take down, even when you can hit it super effectively.
Alright, so in this, we're going to go one more battle for this episode. We see the Thunderous, which can carry a fast taunt, but Whimsicott can take care of that. No Parasong Pokemon, so I don't think we need to bring Kingsky or Tracheon here. I think we'll go with our just standard 4 and play from there.
Yeah, so the opponent's support options are Thunderous and Amoonguss. Thunderous might carry Taunt. He typically does, I believe. And Amoonguss is going to have the Spore. So basically, we're hoping that Amoonguss doesn't have the Mental Herb and is not able to Spore our Audino before it Trick Rooms.
Yeah, I can see this game being a little scarier than the previous 2 games we've done with this team, just because our opponent can maybe bring Amoonguss in the back, and it can really be a disruptor with a Rage Powder and Spore later on. I can see our opponent leading something like Thunderous and then one of his offensive Pokemon like maybe Zapdos or Bisharp, and then having Amoonguss in the back to disrupt later. And that can be kind of scary to deal with, especially if we sacrifice Whimsicott early and then we realize we need it later for the Amoonguss. So this is one of the rare games where preserving Whimsicott might be something we need to do.
Yeah, and I think our previous opponent had more options than he ended up taking advantage of. He did have a Rotom W on his team. I don't think he ended up bringing it. Not quite sure why, but I think maybe just having access to another Will-O-Wisp user to maybe try and burn Muck might have been helpful. Obviously, that wouldn't have happened after he Thunderwaved us, but I mean, maybe just having that small chance was better than what he ended up doing.
Alright, so if he does have Thunderous and Amoonguss, they're in the back, which is pretty good for us. Aerodactyl does get Taunt.
Yeah, that's...
So it may... I mean, seeing as he led nothing to counter Whimsicott and Audino whatsoever, I would assume that the Aerodactyl has Taunt, or else he probably wouldn't have led this.
I think taunting that might be your safest play, even if we do take some big attacks.
Yeah. Do we want to Taunt Protect, because we have the Sash? I don't think he can afford really to Rock Slide and Iron Head the Whimsicott, which would take it out. I don't think he can afford to do that because he's giving Audino a free turn to set up Trick Room.
Maybe we should just do Trick Room. So we're we're just trying to get it up. Like, let's see something crazy happens, like a Rock Slide flinch. Well, actually, that wouldn't be too.
Mega Aerodactyl. Skydrop and okay.
Skydrop and Swords Dance, very interesting.
Well, if we had Whimsicott on the ground here, we could Encore.
Yeah.
I don't think you can protect in Skydrop. I don't really know its mechanics very well.
I think the mechanic is you can't attack this turn until you dropped. So
we can't switch either. So I mean, all of our moves are priority. So Whimsicott's not going to do anything here.
We can't protect because that's gonna be faster.
I guess I'll just Whimsicott's move doesn't matter here. We can't attack because we just have priority, and we can't switch because we're locked in Skydrop.
Yeah, so this is a very unusual situation.
Do we want to protect here?
Maybe.
I think that's the safest bet.
He's probably gonna Swords Dance again because we're not threatening too much. But I think the following turn, after this turn,
if he does Swords Dance here, we can Encore him next turn.
Yeah, we can Encore, or maybe we might consider Mementoing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, this is scary. When you face a Pokemon that can boost with this team, that Bisharp, if it gets a few more Swords Dances up, it's going to be like at the level of Muck's defenses later, so it can still be doing regular damage.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the weaknesses of this team. Right out of the gate, it's not threatening a lot of offensive pressure, so if the opponent does have a way to disrupt and boost their own stats and set up, there's really not a lot of pressure coming from Whimsicott and Audino that's capable of punishing that, so we'll just have to be really careful here. And thankfully, he does decide to attack and not go for more boosting.
That does mean we can't Encore him. And we can't Memento the Bisharp, obviously, because of its Defiant ability. So, I mean, I guess we can Memento the Aerodactyl. That's our only option here, really.
Yeah, it's a really, really unusual situation.
And with Whimsicott, I mean, with Audino here, we don't have much to do. I feel like we just need to protect again.
Yeah, probably. And unfortunately, these shenanigans are costing us a few trick room turns.
All right, this is actually as ideal as it gets for us because there's no way that Aerodactyl is going to take out Audino. All right, cool. So we're guaranteed to get up the simple ability here.
Yeah, and while we don't have as many turns under Trick Room with Muk as we're used to, we might even be able to set it up again if we're careful here.
Do we want to stockpile first because of that Bisharp's at +2? He might potentially be able to knock us out. And if he hits through minimize, we're either gonna take a lot of damage or get knocked out.
Maybe. I think Stockpile might be a good bet.
Okay.
But yeah.
We also have the Power Punch, which is gonna do a lot of damage to that Bisharp.
If we can just get Muk established here with a few boosts, we'll be in business. But if Bisharp does a lot of damage before Muk gets boosted up, then we might be in a bit of trouble here. And these turns right here really decide the game, because after Muk gets his boosts up, there's not a lot to do. Sucker Punch definitely wasn't the right move there. This opponent is obviously just not familiar with what Muk does. Unfortunately, though, he's threatening the taunt with the Thunderous.
Yeah, so in hindsight, minimize there was the better play. And if we had Protect on Muk, we could, well, no, and we only have one more turn Trick Room, never mind. I was going to say we could Simple Beam the Thunderous, but Trick Room is going to go down next turn anyway.
Yeah, and Taunt combined with Sucker Punch is a dangerous combo because we have to attack, and then he can just continue attacking the Sucker Punch.
Well, let's start punching then, shall we?
Yeah, maybe we can take out the Bisharp.
We can Simple Beam Thunderous here so that if we get up Trick Room again, it won't be able to taunt us or Thunder Wave us maybe through Trick Room. I think that's the only, we couldn't protect here, I guess.
Yeah, I thought of another idea a bit too late. Maybe Simple Beaming the Bisharp, and then Memento.
Oh, yeah.
But that would be really scary if the Swords Dance threatening in the future. So I don't know. It would just make the situation more double-edged. Maybe Simple Beaming Thunderous. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I feel like he's going to taunt Muk, and then he thinks that Muk can't do anything, so he's going to attack the Audino with the Bisharp.
Yeah.
I think he's going to attack the Audino with Bisharp.
Okay.
Because he doesn't know that we have Power Punch, so he's gonna think that the Muk is useless, and that actually did a lot of damage.
Yeah, 2 KOs.
All right, and he does attack Audino, so that's good.
He can obviously Sucker Punch us. I think we can Heal Pulse after that, though.
Yeah. Let's punch here and kind of lock him down so that if he targets Audino, he knows he's gonna faint. So we're either gonna KO the Bisharp here or get Trick Room up.
Yeah. Thunderous could taunt, but and that would be unfortunate for Audino. But he goes for the Thunder Wave actually, and
the Iron Head.
He's really just trying to flinch, and that play was really just designed to get Muk not to attack this turn, and I think that really backfired on him because now he's down. He doesn't have Bisharp anymore, and he's facing Muk with a fresh Trick Room up. So.
Well, and he can't Spore Muk now with Amoonguss if he does have that in the back.
Yeah.
Or burn it with Heat Wave from his Zapdos maybe. So this kind of ensures. We talked about this last episode, I believe. We're paralyzing the Muk, or was it last game? I already forget. But
yeah, I think it was last game.
Yeah, paralyzing the Muk kind of prevents any luck shenanigans from burning it or sporing it.
Yeah, we do have a potentially threatening Hippodon here, and we're not able to boost at the moment with Minimize or Stockpile, so that can be threatening.
I think Heal Pulse is safe here. We don't have any evasion whatsoever on Muk, so that Hippodon is going to get a ground type move off on Muk, so we're going to want as much health as we can get for that.
Yeah, I think this might be a little risky. I was expecting that Thunderous to taunt. Maybe he doesn't carry taunt.
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty unimpressive Earthquake from Hippodon.
That is why you don't see Hippodon very often.
Yeah, and we're just hoping.
Well, we are at +2 defense, but that was still not as much as I thought it would do. We can just Heal Pulse past that.
Didn't Thunderous taunt Muk? Yeah, he did. I'm not sure why he's not taunting. He's just trying to kill Muk as quickly as possible, but, I mean, he's putting himself in a hole because now Audino can Heal Pulse or Muk's going to boost. So
I think he's going to taunt again. Let's just Shadow Punch that Thunderous and keep Heal Pulsing. We can just Heal Pulse around this Earthquake all day.
Yeah, I think a critical hit maybe does half to Muk. at this point, so we're not too threatened by the Hippodon. And Thunderwave.
What didn't he? Wait, what?
Um,
We have the healer ability on Auto, which actually healed the paralysis.
Oh,
I
okay.
completely forgot about that. Actually,
That's a good resource.
yeah, when building this team, I didn't even think about that at all. But
Yeah,
that actually can protect us from will-o-wisps in the future. I did not know about that. That's a good resource to have.
And in testing, Auto generally went down in the first couple of turns, so this battle is somewhat of an anomaly here.
Alright, we're running out of time here. We gotta go fast.
Yeah.
The showdown timer, it's kind of weird. It can be annoying at times, but it's beneficial to this team overall.
Yeah, it's much better than the in-game timer. Like, obviously, this team would never work at a live event because the timers there are set so that the game ends in 15 minutes, regardless of how fast each player is moving, and whoever has more Pokemon alive at the end of those 15 minutes wins. So, really, that structure is not too beneficial to this type of team. And the showdown environment's a lot better for this.
Alright, so we can just pretty safely Shadow Punch here and then go for the Trick Room on the off chance that our opponent maybe misses Rock Slide on that slot. Well, he's going to Earthquake, I guess, so Audino's going to go down here. But we have that Sableye in the back, of course, that's going to be able to get these boosts, and then I think we're still pretty safe. Okay, create Earthquake. Maybe not. Maybe we're not safe.
Yeah, I don't know. The sandstorm is gone, which is good.
Yeah, that means we're going to start healing more than we lose.
Unfortunately, we don't have any evasion yet, so
yeah, I feel like the combination of Rock Slide and Earthquake is going to take down Muk. Let's see, Rock Slide did 11.3. How much did a non-crit Earthquake? Oh, 22.
So in hindsight, I think it might have been better to not Shadow Punch as much and maybe set up more boosts.
Yeah.
Because like we're not trying to end the game as quickly as possible. I think we're just trying to get ourselves into a better position. We still might be able to pull this game out with Sableye and Will-O-Wisp though, decreasing the damage that Muk's going to be taking. We probably want to psych up now and copy those boosts for Sableye to fight out this game. But unfortunately, Muk's going to go down here.
Yeah, this is pretty scary. I think we might need a Will-O-Wisp. Do we recover until he misses Rock Slide? We gotta decide fast here.
I think we can just Will-O-Wisp.
What did more? Hippodon. Rock Slide can miss also, so.
Yeah, so we do get the Will-O-Wisp.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of a strange play from the opponent there.
Well, now we have to knock off now because we're in the air, so we can't use a priority move because it's gonna go first and we're not gonna be able to use it.
Yeah.
And we'll see if knockoff takes out this Aerodactyl because we are at +4. Nice.
I don't think we needed the critical hit there. And Earthquake is not going to do enough, so we can recover now, and we should be in a pretty good position to win the game.
Yeah, you see here, this is a position where you don't Mega Evolve with Sableye because you get these valuable prankster moves off. Like that Will-O-Wisp probably saved our life there, and these recovers are going to be helping us a lot.
After we get up to full HP, we're just going to knock off the Hippodon, and it's never going to be able to do more damage to us with Earthquake than we're doing to it with the combined damage of burn and knockoff. So. Oh man, and a somewhat disrespectful critical hit to end the game.
Alright, yeah, this game kind of went differently than most games with this team are, but I think it kind of shows off that this team can be versatile in situations like this if it needs to be.
Yeah, we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket by boosting up Muk because of the Sableye. Like, even if the Sableye only gets a couple of boosts and the opponent only has physical attackers left, like we saw in this situation, even if Muk goes down earlier than we would like him to, Sableye was able to come in clutch here and finish off the game for us.
Yeah, so we saw we kind of kept the Audino around longer than we needed. Not than we needed to. We kept the Audino around longer there than we normally do. And also we kind of relied on the Sableye in the end. As opposed to normally relying on the Muk, maybe. And we also played that game without any evasion whatsoever. So I think that might kind of showcases the bulk of this team, the natural bulk, even without that like minimize. We can just take all these hits with the help of Stockpile.
Yeah, so minimize is really the biggest troll element. It's always frustrating when you can't hit an attack on your opponent's Pokemon, but we demonstrated with this game that the team still works even if you don't use minimize at all. So definitely something to consider for future use.
All right, yeah, and this is going to be I think the last episode with this Muk team for now. So we're going to be bringing you guys a different troll team, hopefully just as funny of a troll team next episode. So say goodbye to the Muk team, and we will see you guys next time on Let's Troll Showdown.